and welcome back to the chaos that is my mind. Sorry, I've been saying it wrong this whole time, and I had no idea. Anyway, I'm your host, the embodiment of chaos, and today we're going back into the Angry Birds lore, and my cameraman's supposed to be right there, not petting our dog. Anger. So you're probably wondering how I got all the information from the last one. It was because some of them I said as seen in the movie. Everything else I got from this book. The Angry Birds 50 True Stories about Fed Up, Feathered, and the Furious. And it also has these little pages that have, they give the personality to the Angry Birds. Because this was before the second Angry Birds in the first movie. Blah, 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 blah. So, that's how you got the lore for the first one. I took a few notes for this lore on the first Angry Birds movie. And when looking through my notes, I noticed there's only 3 Angry Birds that have notes on. First up, we have Red. There's not really much to say about Red, other than he's an orphan, and that's probably what causes anger management issues, so that's about it. And then, next up, we have Mighty Eagle! Nope, that's the window. Anyway, so there's not really much to say about Mighty Eagle, other than, looking in my notes, Mighty Eagle is an insane egomaniac, so he's very insane and obviously an egomaniac in the movie. Then Terrence. Last time I made a big deal about Red, but it should have been Terrence I was worried about. Terrence. He has quite the rap sheet. So, in the second movie, which I didn't watch, I just remember, Terrence becomes a loving father, which, so he has to have gone away from his violent tendencies, and he expresses, and he channels his anger through art, also seen in the movie. And then, Terrence is some sort of I think that Terrence is some sort of magical creature, because he was able to get to the beach before Chuck did, and no, I am not stopping here, Seth. Sorry I said your name. Anyway, and so, last time I mentioned that Terrence was a criminal. Matilda looks at his file, as she hears screams, car screeches, what is it? And police sirens, which means that. And then later in the movie, when Terrence gets an ice cream truck to drive them in, Matilda says, "Everyone buckle up, trust me." And when she says trust me, she's looking at Terrence, who is driving the truck, which leads me to believe that he somehow got his hands on a car and caused mass havoc. But I feel like that's what happened, but I'm sure it is far worse. And then that is it for Terrence. So, next up, we have the geography of their world. I'm assuming it is an Earth-sized planet, because the gravity is near identical to Earth's gravity. I can't really see any difference. That might just be cartoon logic, but still. And then it's a near completely ocean world. Ocean, as far as you can see. Unless you have Mighty Eagle's magical binoculars that can see all the way to Piggy Island, which is over a day's sail away. Speaking of Piggy Island, I'm assuming, is the biggest of the 3 islands there. Bird Island, Piggy Island, and Eagle Island. So, I think it's called Eagle Island, the last one. And so, Piggy Island, they have this massive, expansing city. It's almost like if you took all of New York City and just compressed it together, because it's a small area, but it's about the size. I estimate that it's about the size of all of Bird Island, maybe a bit smaller. And then there's still tons of area. There's mountains and stuff. I'm not sure what else. I just noticed the mountains in the background. And then Eagle Island. I'm assuming Eagle Island is either at the north or south pole of the planet because it's completely covered in ice and essentially just an iceberg. And then one last thing before we get to what's going to be my favorite part so far. No, I lost that. Anyway, so this is quite a funny one, but as to pump himself up, Mighty Eagle, to pump himself up so that he can fly to Pig Island, which he is far faster than a boat somehow. Just his flying while he's in Pig City, the Pig City, is interesting. Hey, come here. My dog, very adorable. To pump himself up to go to fly to Pig City, or whatever it is, he listened to Never Going to Give You Up by Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around, desert you. So, now I've made a Terrence timeline. It's been about an hour. I don't know why it took me this long, but if you come, look here. This is it. If you want to study it, sorry my handwriting's awful, but you can pause here. Anyway, so I figured out that because about 1 year has passed between the first movie and the second movie, but the Blues, the little blue guys, they go from acting like newborns to acting like 5-6-year-olds. So I assume that about for every bird year, it's 5 human years.
Other way around.
For 1 bird year, it's 5 human years.
No, other way around. For 1 human year, it's 5 bird years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, for 1 bird year, it's 5 human years.
Oh.
That's what I... Anyway, so, then from ages 1 to 2 in bird year, or 5 to 10, he has a violent childhood, violent parent, being bullied, I don't know, and then right after that, he develops PTSD, and right after the age of 10, he develops PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which, and then we have a few years of gap, and then right after age 3 or age 15, he commits his first crime. I have no idea what I have no idea what it could be. Well, it could be anything. But he was never caught. And so fear and guilt plagued him for the next 15 years. While a small voice in the back of his mind was tugged him back, and he was whispering to go back to crime and stuff. And then at age 30, he committed the car crime, whatever it was. Either he killed someone by running them over with a car, or some sort of chaos or something, I don't know. But then, this time, he does get caught. And so he's sent to anger management class right after. And then this part is quite condensed. Right after that, he discovers art, and he can express himself through art. And then at age 35 or age 7, he marries Matilda and becomes a loving father of 3. So anyway, that was the timeline of Terrence, and the Terrence timeline.
Terrence's timeline.
Terrence's timeline, yeah, that would be another good one. But it doesn't roll off the tongue as much. Terrence timeline, I quite like that. Anyway, so shout out to, I think it was Jeff something.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was Jeff something. He's my first non-family subscriber. So thank you so much, Jeff something. I forgot your name. But anyway...